ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Tonight, a major twist in the county-wide stay-at-home order in what could be a shocking reversal of COVID-19 related restrictions on many San Diego businesses. The County of San Diego is suspending enforcement against restaurants and live entertainment venues. This following this afternoon's ruling that allows strip clubs to continue operations. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Pena. Kimberly and Steve have the night off. We do have team coverage tonight, beginning with ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Purra on what this could mean for businesses moving forward.
When the ruling was issued, many restaurant groups and business owners immediately consulted with their attorneys. The scope of the ruling is still unclear, but it seems to open the doors for many of them to keep operating. On Wednesday, a judge sided with the owners of Pacers Showgirls and Cheetah's Gentlemen's Club, allowing them to stay open while their case against the county and the state moves through the courts. The judge said there was no evidence that strip clubs have led to increased spread or risk of COVID-19. The 9-page ruling also appears to leave the door open for businesses like restaurants that have been forced to close indoor and outdoor services. Craig Barkas, a professor of law at the University of San Diego, believes it creates a roadmap for businesses to stay open.
Well, under those circumstances, that restaurant would go to court and they would make the same case that these plaintiffs made. They would say, look, we were operating safely. We've taken all the safety protocols. No one in our establishment has gotten sick.
The County of San Diego issued a statement saying the state and the county are analyzing the scope of the ruling and discussing next steps, which includes seeking clarity from the court. Until we have clarity, we have suspended enforcement activities against restaurants and live entertainment establishments. With record numbers of new infections, deaths, and ICUs at capacity, we want to remind everyone to do your part. Please don't gather, socially distance, wear a face covering, and wash your hands. Supervisor Jim Desmond, who has long said that businesses can operate safely during the pandemic, spoke to ABC 10 News about the ruling.
We still have to be serious. We still have a virus. We still got to fight that. But we can allow people to safely earn a living and keep their employees employed. And, you know, to me, this is a great, it's a great victory, but, we still got an uphill climb with the virus.
Desmond tweeted, "How this all plays out, that remains to be seen. We assume the state will appeal, and my colleagues voted to appeal along with the state. Kristen Gaspar and I voted to not appeal their decision. We believe that businesses should be allowed to safely open." To which Supervisor Nathan Fletcher responded, "2020 is so strange. On a day with record number of ICU patients and hospitals telling us they are canceling cancer patients having their tumors removed, my colleague is bragging about fighting to keep strip clubs open." Anthony Purra, ABC 10 News.
Our service is the same, except that now we can advertise. Like now I'm not afraid, of having code enforcement or anything come down on us.
Some restaurants are planning to reopen as soon as tomorrow morning, no longer fearful of any enforcement, while others are waiting to see how this plays out. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo continues our team coverage. She caught up with 2 restaurant owners who will open.
These owners feel their restaurants are not to blame for the high cases of COVID-19 and are happy that at least for now, it seems a judge has agreed.
Just hours after the judge's ruling seemingly allowing restaurants to continue operating without fear of punishment, business owners say they felt relief.
I feel like it's positive. I feel like it's important that this happened.
Jeff Kasha is the owner of Redford's restaurant in North Park. He plans on opening at 5 in the morning on Thursday, serving outdoor only with all safety guidelines in place.
Just like tomorrow, we're wondering the ruling ourselves. Does that mean we can open the full dining room?
In the North County, Bernardo Winery also plans to open outdoors. However, they never shut down after the most recent regional stay-at-home order.
It was almost a sigh of relief because there's like a little bit of logic injected into it now. Whereas before it seemed like there was no logic.
But some restaurant owners telling ABC 10 News off camera they are going to wait, saying reopening takes time, scheduling and calling staff back, cautious about a potential appeal. But Redford's and Bernardo Winery hoping an appeal doesn't happen.
Hopefully they'll look at how the cases are not coming from restaurants and certainly not outdoor service like what we're doing.
We don't want this pandemic any worse either. but we're not the pandemic.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Before the ruling this afternoon, the county told us there were 6 more businesses who received cease and desist orders. The businesses are all in Oceanside and Vista. 4 are gyms and 2 are bars and restaurants. These cases are all under review. Well, this ruling coming tonight on the same day California is reporting a record-breaking 53,711 new cases of COVID-19. That is the highest number of cases the state has seen in a single day since the pandemic began. And another 293 people died of the virus in the 24-hour period. Here in San Diego County, local hospitals are struggling as they run out of space due to a surge in cases. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer De La Cruz has the warning from the county.
Dr. Wilma Wooten stressing our case count is in the hands of San Diegans.
The numbers are increasing because people are not adhering to the stay-at-home orders.
County supervisors warning there's barely any space left at our hospitals, with available ICU capacity plummeting to just 0.5% for the Southern California region.
Hospitals have told me directly that they are delaying tumor removal for cancer patients in an effort to make a bed available for a COVID patient.
Supervisor Nathan Fletcher pleading for vigilance and patience as we close out the holidays.
If you get in a car accident, you're going to want that ICU bed to be available. Our hospitals are struggling. Our healthcare workers are struggling.
28,000 San Diego healthcare workers started getting their first doses of the Pfizer vaccine this week. Residents and staff in long-term care facilities are next in line for additional shipments. But gaining widespread trust is still a hurdle for county leaders.
We arrived at a vaccine faster than we ever have before, but not because corners were cut, not because it wasn't studied, not because it wasn't researched, but because of the desire and need to get this done quicker. 4
of California's 5 regions under the stay-at-home order have now dropped below the 15% threshold for available ICU capacity. The state now adjusting nurse-to-patient ratios from 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 to assist with staffing shortages. Jennifer De La Cruz, ABC 10 News.
And here are the latest coronavirus numbers in San Diego County. Today, more than 2,800 new cases were reported, bringing our total to more than 114,000. 23 more deaths were also reported. In total, more than 1,200 San Diegans have died from this virus. In Washington, D.C., both sides are making concessions as Congress gets closer to a COVID relief bill. Negotiators are now talking about including $600 direct payments to most Americans. There would also be enhanced unemployment benefits, although less than last spring. Businesses could also get loans to help with payroll. A deal could be reached soon.
We made major headway toward hammering out a targeted pandemic relief package that would be able to pass both chambers with bipartisan majorities.
We are close to an agreement. It's not a done deal yet, but we are very close.
In the negotiations, Democrats dropped their insistence for aid for state and local governments. Republicans dropped their demand to stop businesses from being sued over COVID outbreaks. Santee homeowners are relieved tonight after this brush fire forced several of them to evacuate. The fire sparked in an open field around 1:30 near the Carlton Hills neighborhood of Santee. The flames scorched 36 acres, but firefighters on the ground and in the air stopped the fire from reaching homes. One homeowner told us what it was like watching the firefighters keep them safe.
To come up this street and just see it basically in the backyard, I mean, it catches you off guard at first, but then as I saw the guys that were back there and they just, you could just tell they have a sense of confidence. I was like, I felt secure.
No reports of any damage or injuries. Investigators are looking into what caused that fire.
Show me clear from this accident on
A monster nor'easter storm is hammering millions from North Georgia to Maine tonight. Ice and snow giving drivers a white-knuckle ride home across the Northeast. Accidents are littering the highways. In New York City and Boston, more than a foot of snow is expected. As flight cancellations pile up, there are concerns about the ability to ship the vaccine. President Trump is cutting health care funding to California over the abortion issue. The Trump administration says the state is violating federal law by requiring employers to provide health insurance that covers abortions. President Trump plans to withhold $200 million from Medicaid starting next month. Governor Gavin Newsom says the move is meant to score cheap political points and that he plans to push back. Well, sometimes a warm message in a holiday card is all it takes to bring cheer into someone's life. And as part of our Season of Hope series, we're looking at a local nonprofit's latest fundraiser. Arts for Learning San Diego is selling unique holiday cards featuring various nativity scenes. The scenes are made with Mexican folk art collected by one of the nonprofit's board members.
They travel into Mexico and sometimes very remote places, villages, and they purchase these artworks and they have them in their home. And last year they were very gracious and opened up their home to the public and did a private home tour of this of these artworks. But we couldn't do that this year. So we thought, you know, how can we still share these beautiful artworks with a broader audience?
Arts for Learning San Diego is exactly what it sounds like. It advocates for the arts and helps bring arts education programs to those in need. You can find more information and purchase the cards at artsforlearningsd.org.